and that Muhammad is the last and final messenger of God. You feel that condition, you are welcome to come to Mecca.
I have here a poison. And you please testify for the audience that you have the true faith in Jesus.
I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm shaking a little bit. Excuse me. But listen now. You see, you asked me if I believe in Jesus. And I want to tell you, I believe in Jesus as it is written in the Gospels. I don't believe in Jesus as it is written in the Quran. I'm asking him, if you want to kill me, I must have 5 minutes more.
I'm grateful to God Almighty for sparing this old machine to be able to come across the Indian Ocean into a country which my people call down under. That's what you say, down under, the country down under. You know, on the globe of the world, you say this is the country which is down under. So I don't know how you people manage to remain here, I don't know. In Europe, they used to say, see Venus and die. Meaning, that's the acme, the greatest thing that you can see is Venice. You know, the city on the waters, the waterways. It's Venice. In Italy, I think it is. Venice. Venice. So see Venice and die. Now I can go back to my country and tell my people, see Sydney and die. No. We started with advertising the Quran in our local Sunday newspapers, one called the Sunday Tribune. We advertised Quranic verses under the heading, The Quran Speaks, a message from the Quran, and giving our name and address that further inquiries can be made, and for free literature they can write. Then the same thing we started doing for the African people in the Zulu language newspaper called Ilanga Lasi Natal, meaning the son of Natal, in which we had Quran Yakuluma, which means what the Quran says. And again, the same technique, verses from the Quran translated into Zulu and offering people free information and literature. In buildings you'll find the sign saying, read Al-Quran, the Last Testament. Read Al-Quran, the Last Testament. During the day, the sign is there, and at night, it flashes, the color. So in other words, attracting people's attention. We have so far handled this office of mine, some 85,000 Holy Quran translations, Arabic text, translation and commentary, which we have been selling, and what returns we get gets plowed back into propagation. I want to help the people in Sri Lanka and in India, Pakistan, in the UK. We want to do this, that the Quran is made available. We are reproducing videotapes of our lectures, mostly on comparative basis. Like this particular one, it says Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Bible in response to Swagat. Whole world is crying for these tapes because it's something novel to them. It's really a novel thing, because they have heard lectures about only addressing Muslims, how to make salat, we must give zakat, we must not drink, we must not gamble, we must be attired Islamically and all that. They have been listening to that continuously for centuries now, for decades. But now comes along something novel most especially people in a Western environment, like in the United States or in any other country where Muslims are, where the Christian missionaries are making onslaughts, like in India and in Pakistan and in Bangladesh and in Indonesia, wherever the Muslims are, we find that they are under attack and they don't know how to respond. They don't know how to respond to these Christian missionaries. So our tapes are doing the job. So there is a demand all over the world, so the department is expanding and increasing. So we have now exploited the machines, these electronic wizards, by creating what we call Islamic telecoms. We have two in Durban at the present moment. One in our own building here, two of our shops, we took them over, shops in the building, and we changed them into Islamic telecoms. What happens there is that in the window, we have a monitor that at least 16 hours a day, our programs are being played, passers-by are being attracted. Then inside, we have seating accommodation, that the people can come and sit inside, watch the monitor inside, in comfort. We have now started training da'is, people who can go and propagate Islam. Because the Muslims all over the world, where I go and lecture, they seem to have taken a liking to my approach. Because something that was lacking in, that the Muslim didn't know how to approach the non-Muslim, the Jews, the Christians, the Hindus, and I'm showing them how it can be done. To me, it's just a very natural thing to do, which Allah Bari Ta'ala gives us a secret in the Holy Quran when He says, "Qul," tell them, "Ya Ahl al-Kitab, O people of the book, O Jews and Christians, ta'alaw, come. Ila kalimatin sawa'in baynana wa baynakum," that we come to common terms as between us and you. Let us get onto a common platform. Some understanding us about basics. And then Allah Bari Ta'ala tells us what to talk about. But now we have not been doing that because we don't know how. Allah is telling you on a common platform, talk about this. Allah na'budu illallah wa la nushrika bihi shay'an wa la yattakhidha ba'duna ba'dan arbaban min dunillah.
The most memorable visitors here was the head of a Catholic church body, Mr. Dawood Ngwane.
I was looking for a particular book in my son's bedroom. There's a pile of old books in my son's bedroom. I was looking for a book that I wanted to use. And while looking for this book, I found this little booklet. And the title attracted my attention. Crucifixion or Crucifixion. I thought, what does it mean? So that day I read the booklet 3 times. I tell you that I couldn't put the book down during my supper time.
That day, Mr. Ngwane's world was turned upside down. At the age of 63, he began a new life as a Muslim. But he was never able to have another conversation with Ahmad Deedat at the IPCI.
40 different people wrote
The vibrant, dynamic orator was violently catapulted into a body which no longer worked.
He didn't send a book down.
He suffered a stroke which left him completely paralyzed from the neck down.
Unfortunately, as Providence would have it, on the 3rd of May 1996, Sheikh Ahmad Deedat was struck by stroke whilst on duty and became incapacitated, being unable to move any limbs, unable to speak, and unable to eat. However, Providence in its mercy retained Sheikh Deedat's hearing, eyesight, and ever sharp and alert mind. Sheikh Deedat communicates with a unique combination of eye movements, identifying the English alphabets. For the past 6 years or so, Sheikh Deedat is now confined to his bed in Verulam, but still influencing and changing the hearts of people all over the world with the legacy of his books, videotapes, and infrastructure that he left behind at the IPCI. Despite his handicap, Sheikh Deedat has dedicated and dictated many books from his bed via the eye communication method. However, it can be said with humility that no other South African, or perhaps no other Sikh person, has had so many visitors from all over the world, ranging from government ministers, TV crews, from major international networks, religious leaders of all religious groups, academics, scholars, and ordinary people. In this snippet, we see Minister Louis Farrakhan from America paying a visit to Sheikh Ahmad Deedat at his home with his entourage on his recent visit to South Africa.
And last night, I had the privilege of going to meet one of my heroes. Who is that? Ahmad Deedat, one of the great champions of Islam. He's a hero of mine. We have shared many days together. He visited me in my home in Chicago, Illinois, and I visited him and saw him in the days of his strength.